Welcome to the screencast where I'm going to show you on your MacBook how you can either mirror your screen to the projector or treat your projector as a separate display. So what do I mean by that? So let's take a look at the mirrored option. So your MacBook is connected to a projector, and whatever is showing on your screen is projected or mirrored up to the projector screen. So same thing is showing in both places. That's the typical way when you connect your laptop that the computer treats the projector. It treats it as a mirrored display. The other way that you can set this up is to be not mirrored, and you can treat your projector as a separate display. So it's almost like you have two computers or almost like you have two separate displays. So how this works is on your computer, you see what you want to see. So in this case, if I had to check email quick, or maybe I'm setting up a lesson for class, while my kids are watching the CNN student news for the day. So they're watching maybe a 5-minute video while I'm able to do something else on the computer. So I want to show you how you can choose what you want to do with this and how you can toggle between these choices.
So here's an example of what this looks like. Here I am on my computer. My computer is connected already up to the projector. Here's the projected screen. And you can see right now that things are mirrored. This screen is mirroring, meaning showing exactly what's on that screen mirrored up to the projector screen. Now you'll notice when you're on your MacBook, sometimes when you connect to a projector, you get these black bars on the side. How you can change that if that doesn't appeal to what you're trying to do is when you click on the AirPlay display up here in your toolbar, you want to check for how things are mirrored right now. There's usually two mirror settings. This mirror setting right now is checked to it says VT90 series. That just happens to be the model of the projector I'm connected to. When you look at yours, yours might have a different name with it. So what that means right now is that this screen is form-fitting to what the projector wants. If that doesn't appeal to you, you can change that and you can say mirror built-in display. Mirror built-in display means when I choose that in a second, it's going to fill the screen here on my MacBook, and that mirrored display, that rectangular shape, more so than the square shape a second ago, that rectangular shape is now mirrored up there. So why does that matter? Well, if you're using a smartboard, depending on how far your projector is from your smartboard, you may need to think about or play with this and see, is it better when you're mirrored with built-in display or mirrored with your projector display? Chances are the projector display will probably be better because it's more square and the smartboards tend to be more square. So now let's talk about how we can handle the MacBook as one screen and the projector as a separate screen. When you want to treat your projector as a separate screen, you can click on the AirPlay symbol, and there is a choice in there called Use as Separate Display. When I choose Use as Separate Display, you'll notice now I see what's on my computer screen here, but up there I'm just seeing my desktop background. So what's happening right now is this is being treated as one long display. So whatever window or tab or item I take from this window, and if I move it off the right of my screen, it's going to come up onto this screen. It's treating it like one long display screen. So let's talk about a use case here. Let's say you want to show a video to your students. You're doing CNN student news. There's maybe a 5 to 10 minute clip that you want the students to watch while you set up your lesson here on the computer, or maybe you have to quickly check email or do something else. How you can manage this is you can click and hold on a tab in your browser. Notice I'm grabbing the CNN tab there. I can drag this out if I'm clicking, holding, and pulling away. I can move this over to the right and watch what's happening. It's moving onto that other display. So I released, and so it's sitting there. It may not be perfectly centered. As you bring something onto the separate display, it may not fit right. The best way to manage that is to go up and click on the little green maximize button up here in the browser, or whatever window you might be, or whatever tool you might be using. That will fill the screen. So now that is filling the screen there. I can move my mouse cursor back over to here. And very important step here is when you're going between the two screens, you have to deliberately click on the screen to activate before you can start typing or doing something. So one way that visually you know you're not yet active on this screen is you'll notice up here at the top toolbar is kind of grayed out. So that means that my last cursor action took place over there. So if I were to start typing or doing something, it's going to happen up on that screen. So very simply, just have to remember when you come back to this screen, just click on something and notice now this went black up at the top. The text and the menu choices all went black. So now I can move my mouse cursor back over here and find the play button. I'm going to hit play. Again, I clicked. The first click was just to activate the screen. Now I'm going to click play. So that's going to start playing for the students. And there's sound, but I just muted it for purposes of this video. So that can play while back here I can come do what I need to. I can work on that while the video, or maybe it's a slide presentation or something else is happening on that second screen. So as a teacher, you can have two screens from your one computer. One little tip I've noticed when doing mirroring, if I were to go turn off mirroring right now, I would lose whatever was up there. So whenever I am done, if it's something that I want to keep or refer back to, you do want to go grab that item and bring it back over to this screen. And that's just a good habit to get into, so that you don't, if I were to just change mirroring or turn mirroring off, that window would go away. One good idea is to move this AirPlay icon as far right as you can over on this toolbar at the top. The reason why is when you first connect to a projector, sometimes it goes into this square look, and it's hard to get that AirPlay to show up, because if there's too many icons up here, it may get kind of covered up or washed out. To move this, you can hold down the Command key on your MacBook, click and hold on the icon. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. And you can move this over and drop it maybe next to the time or over next to here. So that way, whenever you connect, that symbol should always show up. And that's just a quick way for you to set your projector without having to go dig into the settings.
Thanks so much for watching the screencast, and get comfortable and practice playing with that AirPlay feature so that you can do what you need to while teaching your class.